Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Matty here from Chill TCG. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the new single prize, deck archetype, which came out of the new Pokemon TCG expansion, Chilling Reign. And that is, of course, a deck that is focused around the new Rapid Strike Malamar. This card is absolutely insane. It gives me really strong Blacephalon vibes, and you'll see why in just a second. So this guy's got one attack, Rapid Strike Tentacles. It does 40 damage. Well, it does 40 times. Reveal any number of Rapid Strike cards from your hand. This attack does 40 damage for each card you revealed in this way, and then you shuffle all of those cards that you selected back into your deck. So we're just stacking this deck up with a bunch of different Rapid Strike cards, and we're going to pile them into our hand in several different ways, and then we're going to do big damage for just one energy on a single prize stage 1 Pokemon. So Malamar is super, super good. Again, hopefully you guys can kind of see the comparisons between this and Blacephalon. After rotation especially, this might be kind of the replacement in the format for Blacephalon. It's also a Psychic type, which is really cool, so we can hit for weakness on things like Urshifu, so you'd love to see it. Also does well against Mewtwo, so keep that in mind. But paired with Malamar, we also have we have a 4/4 Inkay Malamar, and Inkay is also Rapid Strike. So those count as Rapid Strike cards that we can shuffle back into our deck from our hand. But we're also running a 3/3 Cinccino lineup. And we're running Cinccino, so we can use Make Do. We discard a card from our hand and draw 2 cards. It's just a great way every turn to draw pretty much 4 cards from our hand and hopefully pile up those Rapid Strike Pokemon, which is going to be really good. We're running a Mew because, of course, we want to protect our bench from all of those sniping decks, which we have right now. And we're running a Phione for Whirlpool Suction. It's actually really good to force up a Pokemon from your opponent's bench. Maybe they just have a bunch of 2 or 3 prize Pokemon on their bench, so Phione is going to come in clutch for sure. It's also searchable with Level Ball, which we are running in the deck. And then, of course, we're running a 3/2 Octillery Remoraid lineup, more Rapid Strike Pokemon. Octillery is really good in this deck, I think, because we can just Rapid Strike search once per turn and grab a Rapid Strike card. And not only just to shuffle back into our deck to do more damage, but a lot of times we can just use it to grab things like an Inkay or a Malamar, or even a new Spiral Rapid Strike energy. So definitely a really, really, really cool card that goes really well in the deck. On top of all that, we have 2 Oricorio-GXs. We run 2 because it's super important. We're going to want to play this thing down after we get KO'd, and we get to draw another +3. So you guys can see just how much draw is really in this deck, because, again, we want to pile a bunch of cards in our hand. Unfortunately, Marnie, Nightwatch, Reset Stamp, those things can be a little bit difficult for us to deal with, but hopefully with the inclusion of Oricorio and, of course, 4 Lucky Eggs in our deck, that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Lucky Egg, of course, if the Pokemon this card is attached to gets KO'd, we draw to wave 7 cards in our hand. Very, very good in this deck for sure. Other than that, we're running 4 Evolution Incense, 4 Fog Crystals, and 4 Level Ball. That's our Pokemon search. Fog Crystal is good because we can grab these basic Psychic energies, but on top of that, we can also grab our Inkays, the Mew or Oricorio-GXs. Very, very good card. Great Catcher, just another gussing option. We have Boss and Great Catcher. Makes sense, in my opinion. And then we have 2 Ordinary Rods because we are a single prize archetype deck, and sometimes after we get KO'd 3-4 times, we're going to want these Malamars back into our deck. So that's what the Ordinary Rods are for. We're not running any switch cards or Air Balloon, but what we do have here is 2 Tower of Waters Stadium cards. That's going to be our way to free retreat with Malamar and our other Rapid Strike cards. But other than that, I mean, Malamar has a retreat cost of 1, I believe. Or 3, never mind, it has a retreat cost of 3. So yeah, I guess really the only way we're retreating consistently is going to be Tower of Water, but we shouldn't actually have to retreat that often, realistically. So yeah, we got 1 Boss, we have 1 Brawly, which is another Rapid Strike card, which is new. We're only running 1 in the deck, but it's actually really cool. Search your deck for up to 3 basic Rapid Strike Pokemon, and then put them onto our bench, and then shuffle your deck. So we can grab a couple Inkays or Remoraid and put them onto our board early game. Really good starting option if we're going second. And then we also have 4 Karina's Focus. It's a really great draw supporter, which is a Rapid Strike card. 1 Marnie, 2 Research as well. The list that I originally took a look at, the Japanese list, which I based this off of, was, of course, running Lily's Full Force, which is a really good card in this deck, but I just didn't have any, and I just decided to run Marnie and Research. But if you have Lily's Full Force, I highly would recommend it. Definitely probably better than running Marnie or Research, but it is what it is. Again, the 4 Lucky Eggs as our tool cards, and then we have 4 Spiral Energies, 3 Psychic energies. We don't need a lot because Malamar just attacks for 1, and of course these are searchable with Octillery, and these we can shuffle back into our deck with Ordinary Rod. So yeah, this is the list. It's super fun, and in my opinion, it is the best single price archetype to come out since things like Mad Party. So it is really great to have other kind of not big stage 3 type decks in our format that are at least somewhat viable, and I think Malamar could definitely be pretty viable. So yeah, let's get into it, guys. Let's play some games. I hope you guys enjoy the deck. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Super fun. Let's get into it. I can't wait. All right. Playing some Malamar. I can't wait. Malamar, I mean, a lot of people are saying Malamar's the new Blacephalon. I don't know how I feel about that. It definitely has a lot of potential. It could do some crazy damage. And it has a very similar kind of attack style to Blacephalon. You know, you kind of pile cards in your hand, and then you shuffle them back into your deck. I know Blacephalon discards them, but very similar cards in terms of their kind of style of attack. You know, again, a deck that I really have not played much of. We're playing the Minccino Octillery list. That's kind of just, you know, the list that made the most sense to me. We're going to cover it, but I'm sure people are going to find better ways to play this deck at some point. We're playing Gabriel Smart TCG, the GOAT himself, and he's playing Path to the Peak Shadow Rider Calyrex. So the Path to the Peak is going to be a bit annoying. Of course, we do have those Oricorios in our deck. There's a Fog Crystal, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we kind of have to play it a little bit smart, I would say. No pun intended. Okay, so he's going to start off with the Shadow Rider B, and he is going to go ahead and just grab that Trevenant and Dusknoir-GX. That's going to be a very good card for him. He's going to be, again, shuffling 2 cards in our hand into our discard pile every game, so that's going to be good. Let's bench that Remoraid, or back into our deck, which is going to be really good for him, 100%. I am actually going to, so I'm going to use this Fog Crystal, but I'm going to use it to grab, an energy, I think. Okay, we'll put that there, and then we're going to Level Ball, and I think what we want to grab here probably is going to be a Minccino. And I don't want to Marnie and get rid of these two, because I kind of want to keep them in my hand. So I'm going to Karina's, and we're going to draw some cards. This is cool. Okay. We kind of have to just keep track of how many, you know, how many Rapid Strike cards are in our discard pile, because we don't want to waste a lot of them. So I think what we do now is we're going to bench the second Minccino. I think the proper board state is to have multiple Malamars up here in case, of course, we get bossed or KO'd. We have another one on the lineup to attack with, and we want just one Octillery on board because we can only use that ability once. And we want, I think, multiple Minccinos, and then that last space, I think, can either be Mew or Oricorio, which is probably going to be Oricorio in this matchup. So let's bench this Minccino, and then I think we can just go ahead and pass our turn. He could Night Watch us next turn. That's definitely a possibility. If he does evolve here, which he will, now he can attach with both Underworld Door and manually attach, so it looks like he's going to be able to do just that. 5 cards in hand. He either has probably another Psychic Energy or a Fog Crystal, but he needs another Energy and or Fog Crystal, and he also needs a way to switch out. So he's going to actually Pokecom here. Away Gengar, Mimikyu. I'm not sure what he's going to be grabbing. Probably grabbing Dedenne or Crobat. Okay, so he grabs another Shadow Rider, which is interesting. He might just have like a Research or Marnie in hand. Okay, so there goes the Quick Ball, and he's going to go ahead and Quick Ball away the Reset Stamp, and then now he's going to go ahead and grab another Shadow Rider. I don't know Vaughn's list. He might not be running Dedenne or Crobat, but yeah, he's got the Research there, so I assume he's probably going to be able to draw into a switching option as well as an energy in those 7 cards. It just kind of seems pretty likely, in all seriousness, but we'll see. I mean, as long as, yeah, the Night Watch could be pretty unfortunate for us. He is taking just 1 prize card on the Inkay, but it's going to be difficult nonetheless for us to, I guess he could kind of get rid of one of those Marnies, Karinas. I would rather him not get rid of my Cinccino or my Malamar, but here comes the Night Watch. Definitely going to 100% KO the Inkay. Let's see what he grabs. So he grabbed the Marnie and the Karinas. Not super ideal, but at least we still have our Pokemon in hand, and let's see what we top deck. That's just another possibility. I am going to bring up the... Yeah, we're going to bring up the Inkay. I think we're just going to do that. What do we top deck? We top deck Marnie, which is actually really, really cool. That's definitely really cool. Okay. Yeah, let's evolve into Cinccino. And we're going to Marnie first. Just because I don't want to discard that Remoraid. This hand is a little bit more manageable, in my opinion. So we should be able to get some things rolling this turn. Let's go ahead, evolve this Cinccino. And I might have to discard Lucky Egg here. I don't know. I'm trying to kind of figure out the best, course of action here. We could Evolution Incense and grab Octillery, evolve the Remoraid. That could be nice, and we could Rapid Strike search for something. Let's actually make do right off the bat, and I'm going to make do away the Spiral Energy. I know it's a Rapid Strike card, but I kind of want to keep Lucky Egg around. Okay, so we actually have Tower of Waters as well. This is interesting. Okay, so yeah, we're going to Evolution Incense. Now we're going to grab Octillery. Let's go ahead and do that. And now we're going to go ahead and make do away another energy. So we're already down 2 energies on our discard pile. That's kind of cool. Okay, so the hand is a little bit awkward. We can Rapid Strike search, though. And we can go ahead and grab... I think I'm going to grab this Inkay just to have it on our bench because we're going to get hit pretty hard next turn. We're going to go ahead and put the Malamar there. We're going to go and put the Inkay down. And now I think I'm going to want to also put a Lucky Egg on that Inkay. I think that's going to be our best strategy here. And then we're going to discard all of this stuff. Or not discard it, but shuffle it back into our deck. And we're going to go ahead and just hit for 120. Not too much damage, but next turn, even if he does KO the Malamar, we could possibly pop off. Unless he bosses up at the Octillery or Cinccino, we're definitely going to be drawing a lot of cards next turn. And we can hopefully afford to get KO'd. If he does KO the active Malamar, or if he's forced to, then we draw till we have, I think, 6 or 7 in our hand. That could be good. And then we also have the double make dues. We have Rapid Strike Search, and we might be able to also draw into Oricorio, which could really set up for a really big KO. But, of course, we do need another Malamar, and we do need another energy. He's going to keep up with the Underworld Door, which is obviously what this deck does. And he's going to set up a second Trevenant and Dust Noir, and that's probably his best attacker. Again, shuffling 2 cards from my hand back into my deck. Going to be a really valuable strategy because that can also reduce the amount of damage that I'm actually doing with Malamar. And there we go. So he does Night Watch. He's going to go ahead and take the prize card, but we get to draw until we have 6 in hand. It's actually 7 in hand, which is really good for us, actually. And now I think what we have to do is bring up the Inkay at this point. Okay. So what I want to do now is we're going to pop the Fog Crystal, and I'm going to grab Oricorio. We have the energy in hand, which is good. We're going to go ahead and put that down. Let's attach the Spiral Energy to Inkay, and let's bench our other Inkay. Inkay? I'm not sure exactly how we should pronounce that. But now I'm going to go ahead and start make do. I think. Let's get rid of the Level Ball. We want to get rid of things that aren't Rapid Strike cards. That's going to be the most important thing. And since we can Rapid Strike Search for Malamar, I'm actually going to get rid of this Evolution Incense. Okay. So we're moving through our deck pretty quickly, which is definitely good. Now we can Dance of Tribute, draw an extra 3 cards, which is super, super cool. Okay, so now we have a lot of cards in our hand. So that's pretty useful. And we have a Malamar as well. So I'm just going to evolve, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can get the KO here. We're just gonna have to discard, I think 4. So we do 160, which we could probably afford to do. But I think what we're gonna do is Rapid Strike Search first of all, anyway, and we can grab the Brawly just so it gets shuffled back in our deck. I think that's going to be our best strategy. And actually, what I'm going to do here is we're going to play Tower of Waters. We're a little bit lucky he hasn't gotten Path to the Peak down on his board yet, in my opinion. Definitely pretty fortunate. So now we can just Rapid Strike Tentacles, and we're going to get rid of Octillery, Remoraid, and Brawly. And I think that's going to be our best bet. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay. All right, and that'll be enough to KO the Trevenant Noir. We're taking 3 prize cards, which is nice. Hopefully, perhaps we take Malamar or Ordinary Rod off the prize cards. I don't even know if that's actually something that is prized, but that could be pretty beneficial for us. A lot of cards that I guess the energy is going to be nice for next turn. But again, if he's forced to KO the Malamar, then we're in a good spot. Even if he bosses something else up, like the Oricorio, we still should be able to set ourselves up for a KO next turn. So we're in actually a really good spot. We actually are. And this is where Malamar kind of comes through. Again, it's a deck that is focused on single prize Pokemon, so they have to KO us at the most, or at the least 4 times is what they have to KO us, I think. Or maybe 5. Maybe they have to do 5 KOs. And there's the Path to the Peak. Going to be unfortunate, so we cannot use that Oricorio-GX, and I believe that's our second, or it's our only Tower of Waters in the discard pile, so we might be able to Rapid Strike Search for our other one, and then we can go ahead and use Dance of the Tribute. But let's see if he bosses us this turn. That's always just going to be an interesting scenario. If he bosses us, then that's honestly fine, because we still have our Malamar with the energies. Oh, so he actually pops the Marshadow, which is interesting. I'm not sure why exactly he did that. Was an interesting play. Probably doing something for some reason that I don't know. He does get the energy on the Gengar Mimikyu as well. Gengar Mimikyu is kind of cool, so if he could Horror House, that could put us in... I mean, I don't know if Horror House really helps him a whole lot, though. So I think that just continuing with Night Watch is going to be his best strategy. He hasn't Marnied us yet as well, which is going to be really good. But it looks like he's putting down that Dedenne, which is probably a big reason why he got rid of it, the Path to the Peak with Marshadow. So he's going to discard that hand here. It looks like he chose not to play Boss's Orders, so that's not the strategy he's going for. And he's down quite a bit of resources. We haven't seen Marnie yet as well, so he could Marnie us. which is definitely interesting. So we'll see. I kind of half expect him to Marnie this turn. I think Marnie Nightwatch is going to be his best, I guess, tool, like his best sort of strategy. But maybe he's gotten unlucky. Maybe his Marnies are prized, or maybe, you know, he just doesn't have it. So yeah, he's just going to KO the active. We don't get to draw extra cards off this, of course, and he does shuffle away that energy. Not a huge deal for us. Oh, we get to draw one extra card, and it happened to be Octillery, which is not bad. Not bad for us really at all. All right, we're going to go for the KO. That's just our plan at this point. We have the energy, but actually what I'm going to do is play Fog Crystal first, and we're going to grab a basic Psychic Energy. That's going to be our play here. Okay. Okay. I don't know if the order makes too much, you know, if it matters too much here. Let's make do away research, draw some cards. There's the Malamar. That's one of the pieces that we needed, so that's definitely pretty good. Let's make do. Let's get rid of the Minccino. Draw some more cards here. Level Ball, Mew, none of those were Rapid Strike cards. That's fine. We can actually Level Ball here and grab Remoraid. We have Phione in our deck as well, which is pretty cool. Okay, so now I think what we're going to do is we're going to Dance of Tribute. I think, do we even have, we might even have enough at this point, but we're just going to stack it up as much as possible. Yeah, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 4, which is 280. So that is actually enough to KO. Which is super cool. Malamar is a really fun deck. But let's just go ahead and grab Tower of Waters as well, just to, you know, to ensure, just to make sure that we can, in fact, get this KO. But yeah, okay, so super cool. Malamar, really fun deck. Let's go ahead and choose all of our Rapid Strike cards that are in our hand and see just how much damage we could do. And very fun game. Again, we kind of got a little bit fortunate. He didn't hit us with Marnie a whole lot. And that was definitely good for us, but boom, right there. So that is actually 320 damage from Malamar. Definitely gives me Blacephalon vibes, I think. Definitely gives me Blacephalon vibes. Really fun deck, really cool deck. And in terms of its viability, I could actually see this deck being extremely viable, especially the more that they print Rapid Strike cards, and the more that the list definitely gets refined. So that's definitely super interesting. Let's see if we can play one more game, see if we can kind of get maybe just a little bit more experience with this Malamar deck, and see just what else this crazy single prize archetype deck can actually do. So let's get ready. All right, let's play one more. Let's play another one. It's going to be interesting for sure. I don't know exactly what Gabe's playing here. I think he might be playing an Urshifu variant. Urshifu is still an incredibly popular card, and of course Malamar is a Psychic-type Pokemon, so we get to hit for weakness on the Urshifu, which is definitely super nice. Of course, they do play Jirachi, and I don't know how much Boss's Orders we play in our deck, if any, so that's going to be definitely a challenge, for sure. And we're starting with Oricorio, which is obviously not super ideal for us to have that on our board immediately, but it could be worse. He's starting with Crobat, so, you know, we're not in a terrible position, I think. So let's see. Let's see exactly what goes down. So he's playing Zacian, and Jirachi Prism Star. I don't know what deck we're playing. Could be Urshifu Zacian. He said he was playing Zacian, but I didn't know, or Urshifu, but we don't know which Urshifu that actually is. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab Inkay. And actually, we're gonna play another Fog Crystal, and I think he is playing Urshifu. To be honest, I do think he is. So we're gonna grab Mew because I don't want him to snipe our bench. That would, of course, not be very good for us. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna attach this energy to Inkay, and we are gonna go ahead and yeah, we're just gonna research. That boss is gonna be really good for us, or it would have been really good for us, but unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to get that going. Okay. So what we can do here, our hand is pretty interesting. Let's get a Remoraid down. I kind of want to get another Inkay down as well. And then let's Level Ball. And let's grab a Minccino. And I think that our board state's going to be pretty much all set, except we didn't find a way to switch out. So let's hope that he doesn't KO our Oricorio next turn. That would be, you know, pretty unfortunate for us, I would say. Definitely. Can we attach this to non-Rapid Strike Pokemon? This card can only be attached to a Rapid Strike Pokemon. That doesn't help us. We want to get Oricorio here out of the active spot. It's okay. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out. He switches into the Jirachi Prism Star. A very cool card, in my opinion. Very, very cool card. And he's going to Marnie us anyway. So there goes our Octillery. And we were going to Marnie him next turn. Should be okay. Let's see exactly what we draw off this Marnie. Okay, so we have the energy, though. Other than that, we don't really have anything. But, you know, we'll figure it out, I think. I don't have a lot of experience with Malamar, so I don't know how consistent this list actually is. This, Gabe's playing Zacian, so he's just going to be able to, set that up eventually, draw some cards. Okay, so this is an awkward situation to be in, for sure. But I think what we're going to have to do now, in fact, is just retreat. And we're going to retreat into this Inkay here. And we're going to put a Lucky Egg onto it. And we're going to hold Ordinary Rod for now. And we're going to have to pass. We're going to have to pass. Hopefully he takes the bait. Hopefully he just KOs us in the active spot. He might not have boss's orders. He hasn't discarded any boss's orders, so he could just have it in hand. I mean, his hand is pretty large. I wouldn't be surprised if he hit us with the boss, just KO'd the Oricorio. That would be bad. That would put us in a pretty bad position. But he's going to attach the energy to the Zacian, switch in, put down another Zacian, and potentially we see the boss's orders here. It'd be nice if he didn't have it. Okay, so he's got a quick ball. He might be digging for it because, again, KOing this Oricorio would be really, really, really nice. But no, he actually grabs Rapid Strike Urshifu V. Not a bad choice for him. And there is, of course, the boss's orders. Let's see what he KOs. He could be KOing the Mew. Yeah, so he is going to actually target the Mew. It's a questionable decision, but I think that for him in the long run, I think just KOing this Mew is going to help him out a lot overall, to be 100% honest. Let's bring up this Inkay. Actually, no, we're going to bring up this one because we can just go ahead and grab the energy. We have the Malamar, which is cool. Yeah, okay. So let's Fog Crystal. We're definitely not in a great position. We have to grab an energy off this Fog Crystal. But we can Oricorio-GX, we can Dance of Tribute, and then maybe, potentially, draw into some good stuff here. Unfortunately, we don't. Once during your turn, you cannot use... Okay, so I was going to see if we could stack up Dance of Tributes. Unfortunately, we cannot. But not a big deal, either way. Not a huge deal. Let's attach to the active Malamar. And unfortunately, we're just going to have to Rapid Strike Tentacles and shuffle these two. We're only doing 80 damage right now. It's something. It's not great. It is something. But even if this deck doesn't draw perfectly, we're probably still going to showcase it to you guys. And again, if you guys are more experienced with Malamar, if you've kind of looked into it a little bit more, then potentially you could kind of let me know what the better way to play the deck is, what the better list is. I believe I took this list from a recent, or a Japanese list that did really well with it. Kind of the more accepted way to play it. He's just going to KO our Malamar. He's going to take another prize card. At least he didn't boss us that turn. That would have been pretty unfortunate. But we're going to draw till we have 7, and we should be able to set ourselves up fairly nicely going into next turn. Let's bring up that Malamar. I think we'll do that. Let's bench this Minccino. Let's evolve this Cinccino. And we're going to go ahead and Fog Crystal so we can grab another Inkay, which is pretty cool. And now we're going to make do. I think we're going to get rid of this Oricorio because we already have one. It could have been actually better to save it in case he bossed it up. That might have been pretty important. But for now, we're not going to do that, I don't think. Let's Oricorio-GX. Dance of Tribute. Draw 3 extra cards here. It looks like we do have enough now, which is definitely good to get the KO here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 200. But we actually only have to hit 4... So if we do 4, that's 160. So we can hit for the 160, I think. Yeah. So we can just get rid of 4. So I think that's just gonna be our best bet. It would be nice to have Lucky Egg, but unfortunately we don't have it. Let's get rid of the Inkay, Remoraid, and we're gonna keep the Malamar, I think. Yeah, we're going to keep the Malamar and shuffle those 3 back into our, or those 4 back into our deck. Pop it off for 160. We are going to KO the Zacian, which is definitely super cool. We do not see the Jirachi-GX on his bench yet, which is definitely nice. So if we draw into boss's orders, I know we just discarded one. I don't actually remember if we have more than 1 in our deck, but either way, there's the Lucky Egg and the Karinas. So those are pretty nice cards to draw there. We're going to be able to evolve the Cinccino and the Malamar next turn. So things are going pretty well for us. At least we're able to kind of set some things up. And that is going to be fairly nice. I think it might be good for us to pop Ordinary Rod as well next turn. So, especially if we get KO'd. And it looks like he is setting up the KO. Does he find the VMAX, though? That's the big question. The Rapid Flow is going to be really annoying because he can KO both Malamar and Inkay. And that's just not really good for us. He actually can't KO the active Malamar because we resist by 30. Which is definitely really good news. But he might just KO us with 100 Furious Blows. Yeah, and that's it. That's actually what he's going to do. So he's going to take his prize cards, which is fine. We should pretty easily be able to get a KO on the active Urshifu this turn, which would be definitely really nice, I think. Let's evolve this Minccino. We're gonna go again. We're gonna give him the smiley face. Let's put the Lucky Egg. Actually, what do we want to do? I think we should Ordinary Rod first. Let's put. I think what we should do is shuffle the Inkay and Malamar back into our deck, and then let's go ahead and grab the Psychic Energies. Okay. Okay, cool. We're in a pretty okay spot. Let's still Lucky Egg. Well, I don't know how many bosses is he down. One boss. Okay. Yeah, let's egg the active, I think. And then I'm actually gonna play this Karina's. We're gonna draw a bunch of cards, and then we can make do and discard the. Let's discard the Phione. That might not have been the smart play either, but I just don't really know if we're gonna use it too much. Let's make do away the Psychic Energy. We want Rapid Strike cards. This is interesting. Okay, so we can just Evo Incense now. We can grab our Octillery, which is nice. Unfortunately, we can still Dance of Tribute. I want to get another Inkay and put it on our board for next turn. Okay, so we actually have... Okay. So we drew into the Octillery, which is good. Or no, we just had it. But anyway, we can Rapid Strike search for the Inkay. So cool. All right, we're in a pretty good spot. Let's bench that Inkay. Let's attach the energy to it. And then now we can kind of hit for weakness, which is nice. So we only have to do 3, which is 120, because he has no way to remove his weakness on his board, right? So yeah, we're going to Rapid Strike Tentacles, and let's shuffle 3 of these bad boys into our deck. Let's choose these 3. And we're going to rock out with this. Hitting for weakness, getting another 2 prize cards. Definitely super, super cool. It's nice. This matchup is nice. So, you know, I'm sure Gabe, might have thought, I mean, give Maddie a little bit of a chance. Just kind of give you guys an example of what matchups you might be hitting. I know Zacian Urshifu isn't super common, but at least it is, Urshifu, and that's a deck that we might see pretty often. But Malamar's been pretty good. I honestly like it a lot. It's fun. It's really, really fun. It feels a lot like Blacephalon, but a little bit less annoying because Blacephalon, of course, is one of our best decks in our format, and Welder is just a really toxic card in my opinion. But yeah, so Malamar's super cool. Rapid Strike Pokemon just seem like there's so many other more cool decks for Rapid Strike than there are Single Strike, and he's gonna go ahead and Marnia, so not that bad actually. A lot of Rapid Strike cards are still in our deck, so we're not in a terrible position. 17 cards in the deck as well, and we only have to take 2 more prize cards. Okay. It's an interesting hand, but if he KOs, then we get to draw plus 6 cards instantly with our board set up here. Not all of those might be Rapid Strikes. Okay, cool. So he just actually ends his turn on Intrepid Sword, which is definitely interesting. First of all, I think what we're going to do is we're going to make do. Let's get rid of this Evo Incense. Although we probably should have kept the Evo. No, we don't need it because we can Rapid Strike search for Malamar. So let's make do away the Level Ball. I don't know if we have boss in our deck. That's kind of what I'm just trying to find. Doesn't look like we probably do, but let's evolve this Inkay into the Malamar. And we can actually feel free to KO this active Jirachi. We only have to discard 2 or shuffle 2 back into our deck. But we're going to Rapid Strike search anyway. Let's just grab this Inkay. We're not going to be able to Dance the Tribute because he didn't KO us last turn. Let's get rid of the Karinas and the Remoraid. And then that's going to be 80 damage, KOing the Jirachi. So now we're in a good spot, I think, because we have another Malamar set up on the bench. And we also do have Lucky Egg. 1 prize card remaining. So we're in a good spot for sure. I think it was a little bit of an unfortunate game for Gabe. It didn't draw super, super well. The matchup's not that great either. But yeah. Malamar is cool. It is. It's a really fun list. I'm interested to see at Chill Series this coming week, which is free entry 500 Battle Style or 500 Chilling Rain packs. By the way, if Malamar is a deck that people not only play but actually do pretty well with, that's going to be something that I'm actually pretty interested to see. So he's going to boss up now, and it looks like he's going to boss up the Oricorio to take this KO, which is really, really good for him. So now next turn, he's going to win if we do not get the KO here. But I'm feeling pretty good. I think that we should be able to get the KO on this Zacian. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's start with our make do's. Let's get rid of this Minccino here. We're going to choose all the cards that aren't Rapid Strike. Neither of those were Rapid Strike cards, which is pretty sad. And now we're going to go ahead and make do. And I think the proper sequencing here might be to grab a Rapid Strike card first. I'm not even sure with Octillery, but okay. So there we go. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is, I think, just enough. But either way, let's Rapid Strike, search one more, grab a Remoraid. This deck is cool. Definitely super fun. And we're going to say smiley face. And yeah, so shout out to our opponent. Great dude. Let's go Rapid Strike Tentacles. Let's see how much damage we do this turn. Should be quite a bit. I think that's maybe 320 yet again. And it is, in fact, 280. So still enough to KO the Zacian. Enough to KO most tag team Pokemon as well. Yeah, Malamar. Single strike, or sorry, Rapid Strike, single prize Malamar. Super fun list. One of my favorite single prize archetype decks these days. We don't get a lot of them. I know ADP still running around, but post rotation Malamar, you never know. Definitely could be a pretty viable option. And it has what it takes actually to KO an ADP, which is definitely probably kind of cool. So maybe that matchup isn't as bad as people think. Either way, I've been Matty from Chill TCG. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys thought about the deck. How else would you play the list? Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to play on Chill Series number 36, which is coming up this Wednesday. Free to play, 500 Chilling Reign packs in the prize pool, sponsored by PTCGO Zone, our great sponsor. So definitely go check them out. All right, guys, have a good one. We'll see you guys later in the day for another video. I can't wait. Have a good one. We'll see you guys next time.